Hello. Time for some ass kicking. Now, from now on, from this point on, I'm going to remove all fearful comments. Fearful and, what? Uh, you could disagree, although I don't see why you would. I don't care to hear your opinions. I mean, what's the point of disagreeing with me? You don't have to agree with me, but what's the point of telling me I disagree? Um, the reason I'm changing everything is because is that the reason I'm changing everything is that I predicted that Trump would get 400 plus electoral votes, and he did. So um, I'm not interested in hearing from people who didn't think he would win big because, you know, you are as brainwashed as the people you claim to hate. Let me explain why. In my comment section, people are now saying, well, if Trump has the evidence, the mainstream media won't publish it. Trump got a landslide with the entire press against him and censoring him. He got a landslide anyway. So your unending terror of the mainstream media is obsolete. I have no doubt that you continue to watch CNN and all these people you claim to hate. Um, I have no idea why. I'm not watching any news right now. Um, what would be the point? Uh, the press is fabricating stories, and what they're doing is they are well, it's like the ending of Aguirre, The Wrath of God.
Das ist kein Schiff. Das ist kein Wald. Das ist kein Pfeil. Wir bilden uns die Pfeile nur ein, weil wir Angst davor haben.
Diese Pfeile sind echt! In Deckung!
Dieser Pfeil kann mir nichts anhaben. Das ist kein Regen.
That is not an arrow. Arrows can't hurt me. Well, the arrow doesn't give a damn whether you believe in it or not. An arrow just does its job. And you've granted the Democrats and the press superpowers. Trump proved that you were wrong. And as always, you simply ignored the latest miracle that Trump pulled off and you moved on to the next unreasonable fear. So you are de facto enemy agents, and I will now remove your comments. And if you continue to comment like that, I will hide you from the channel. I mean, this is the turning point in our country's history, and it's not helpful to have you in your incredible blockheadedness telling me that I'm wrong when I was right. Trump got his 400 plus electoral votes. You didn't think he would. All I heard is it's going to be razor sharp. It's going to be real close. It wasn't. That's why Dominion pulled off this Venezuelan style, you know, what would you even call it? This debacle that, you know, as of right this second, Trump has enough legal evidence in the form of sworn affidavits to get the mail-in ballots and the absentee ballots disqualified by the Supreme Court. But he knows that that's not enough. So he's going to present the evidence of what I'm sure was a military operation that he ordered by the Defense Intelligence Agency and almost certainly the National Security Agency. So, for whatever reason, nobody on the other side was expecting this. But Trump was expecting this. Trump has been expressing his distrust of voting machines since 2012. Trump is not you. When Trump sees a problem, he does something to neutralize it. So, and the fact that he got his landslide proves that he knows what he's doing. And, you know, you're saying that's not good enough for me. So that means that, you know, you're polluting my comment sections with basically enemy propaganda, so I'm not going to allow it. You're still granting the press superpowers. Trump defeated them by getting his landslide. That made no impression on you. Well, the press is going to hide all the evidence. And then here's something that you do that I cannot stand listening to. You say, what about all those people out there who... Well, is it Matthew 7:5? To paraphrase, take the plank out of your own eye before you start worrying about the mote in somebody else's eye. You're blinder than bats. Bats use radar, sonic, whatever the hell it's called, to navigate. You don't even have that. I don't know what's wrong with you. You're worried about... The country came through. Trump got his landslide. Other people aren't the problem. You are the problem. You are the problem. Okay? Nothing will convince you that Trump knows what he's doing, so I don't want to hear from you anymore. And not only that, I will prevent you from posting in my comment sections. I'm going to police my comment sections, and I'm going to instantly remove anyone who expresses their fear. Before the election, all I got was, I sure hope you're right. I pray that you're right. I was right. Did it make any difference? No. The same people are still saying, I sure hope you're right. I pray that you're right. This is a brain dead ritual. Okay. This is I don't even know what it is. I hate ritual. Ritual has its place in ceremonies. This isn't a ceremony. Okay? No matter what Trump does, and no matter what I say, you're just going to have the same reaction. I sure hope you're right. And then, well, what about all the other people who did, and the mainstream media? They're already dead. They just don't know it yet, and obviously you don't, because you're sneaking like an addict. You're sneaking peeks at CNN, and oh, Tucker Carlson, boy, I hope he runs for president. Yeah, you should get what you wish for. Tucker Carlson would be a worse president than Barack Obama. Um, Tucker's a liar. Tucker lied about Sidney Powell, and you know, stop talking about Tucker Carlson in my comment sections. Tucker Carlson still says that he's the one who got Trump to take the pandemic seriously. You know, this guy is he has no values. He has no values. He's staying with Fox News so that he can continue to brainwash you. And you're just like, you tell him, Tucker. Well, not good enough. Not here. Not in my comment section. If you're not bright enough to see that Trump already defeated everybody you're afraid of, then, you know, you don't belong here. You have to go take your fears somewhere else. In the novel The Day of the Jackal, there's a great little paragraph about how the maid was really upset. The elderly French maid was really upset. And so she went to the kitchen, but she couldn't find her husband. He was out somewhere else. So she satisfied herself by giving a lengthy lecture on human depravity to the refrigerator. So what you need to do is you need to put a chair in front of your refrigerator and lecture your refrigerator on how, you know, the mainstream press will censor Trump, and giant tech will censor Trump, and he'll lose. And you know what you're doing? The press says that they decide who's president, and you're agreeing. You're saying that if the press doesn't show Trump's evidence, then that means he won't be declared president. And that's about as superficial as you could get. We happen to have laws in place. We happen to have courts. The press doesn't matter. The press gave it their all, and the Democrats gave it their all in Trump's first term, and he got his landslide anyway. He did that. He and Team Trump did that. You didn't do that. You just sat there going, oh, I hope everything turns out well. Hoping doesn't get things done. Doing gets things done. So, I knew Trump was going to win, and I also knew that he had multiple plan B, C, D, E, F, G, but Dominion made it very simple for him by being completely centralized. So, all they had to do was get the real vote count from Dominion. And, you know, it's adios muchacho, to quote, what's his name in Alien 2? Aliens. We're not going to allow any more fear and negativity here. You can feel your fear and your negativity, but you're not allowed to express it here. This is going to be the one little corner in the internet where we are nothing but positive. We are nothing but happy warriors, and there's no place for you. You are a defeatist, and you are de facto enemy agents. So you have to go somewhere else. You can still read my stuff, but you can't comment if you're going to explain to me in your completely inaccurate reasoning why I'm wrong. Because every time one of you tries to explain to me why I'm wrong, you're wrong. So you're wasting my time. You're wasting everybody's time. I don't know what it is. Maybe you feel threatened. I don't feel threatened by Trump. He's like literally a million times smarter than I am. I learn from Trump. I study him. I'm fascinated. I'm excited. And there's a reflexive need for some people to tear something down if they themselves didn't come up with it. That's fine. Tons of people do that. Mostly men. And if you can't get over how you were raised, then, I don't know, bon voyage. It's not my problem. But what is my problem is this absolutely ridiculous negativity and fear that is based on your complete denial of how well Trump did in the election by rendering everything you're afraid of, he rendered them all impotent. And you refuse to even see that. And this is wrong. You have to give Trump credit for the miracles that he pulls off. You can't simply ignore what he's done and then move on to your next bizarre defeatist fear. I mean, you can do that. I don't care. Go, do it all you want, but don't do it here. So I am going to remove your comments now if they are negative and if they are fearful. And if you continue, I will hide you from the channel. So you've been warned. Only happy warriors are allowed here. And if you're not a happy warrior, then don't comment. Don't share your fears. You're not accomplishing anything. I'm not afraid. And when you try to infect me with your fear, it's passive aggression or it's dishonest and you're not real. So you have to accept that I am in control of the comments section here, and I will not put up with defeatism, passive aggression, and enemy agents. This is, as I said, this is the deciding moment in our history. And if you don't believe me, ask this German doctor who all he did was speak out against the German government's absolutely useless restrictions on how the public is living at this moment.
Edgar. Entschuldigung, hier, die Polizei ist gerade da. Die Polizei ist gerade da. Ja.
Und jetzt?
Mach mal bitte auf. Ja, ich weiß nicht, was los ist.
Das ist doch gerade ein
Ich weiß nicht.
Guck mal, wir haben vorhin über Angst gesprochen.
Moment, hier ist gerade die Polizei, bricht gerade die Tür auf.
Polizei! Ich will die Hände sehen! Auf den Boden runter, beide! Runter auf den Boden! Geh runter! Zwei Personen hier! Am Boden liegen bleiben! Wie sind Ihre Namen? Wie heißen Sie? Wie heißen Sie?
Ich bin Andreas Noack.
Sonst irgendwelche Messer, Waffen, irgendwas einstecken.
Nein.
Computer aus.
All right? So that's where we're headed if Biden takes office. believe it. They're mandating masks in homes, and they will outlaw anti-government speech the way the Germans have done. And they will break down your door, and they will point an automatic weapon at you, and they will arrest you. That's coming if Biden takes office. So you need to understand that the stakes are too high here for me to allow defeatism. You can't infect others with your defeatism. You can be a defeatist. I'm not stopping you, but you have to go do it somewhere else. Click.